So I'm here to come to sell them again. 9.5 straight night, 20 straight night, even straight here. Now guys eat hard.
What's going on, guys? Gonna do a little bit of live equities charting here. And just setting things up a little bit. So I will be moving along here. Not moving along, moving along charting very soon. Okay. Here we go. Spy with that daily and weekly gap here. And moving up over the trend line, which again I'd like to see, as I mentioned on my equities YouTube stream, I'd like to see it hit 415 to 420 before I look for a short. Hold on, my kid. I'm still watching him, but I was hoping for a little bit of freedom here. I gave him a whole bowl of strawberries. All right, back to it here. So again, I would be looking at 415, 420. It may pull back here. We're digesting a bit, obviously, out of this breakout. 1, 2, 3 days, 3 green days in a row here, 4 green days in a row. This is really an inside day. So 1, 2, 3. Big gaps here under the market to 400. I expect that to get tested at some point. Hopefully it doesn't happen tonight, because then that'll ruin my plans to short higher. But it might happen here. So this 30-minute trend line is no longer accurate. Let's see. We'll do something like that. Alright, 1, 2, and then this will be number 3. So let's see if it goes. But if it gets close, we'll look for liquidity below, and then this is the upper trend line. So you'll probably find some liquidity here into the 402 to 404s, which we've got a few zones here to get long here. Right, breakout zone, and then we also have, just based on this confluence and running stops under this trend line, kind of a rule of 3 thing, and then this upper daily, I guess, rising wedge trend line, which, if you know me, I'm not a huge fan of shorting rising wedges, but I do like shorting them when they break out and go a little bit parabolic on a shorter time frame. So we're at a measured move coming up here, right here. We've got this impulse and then measured move, maybe 410. So anyway, let's put something on the daily. We'll see. There you go. This kid. We'll see how it gets there and what it does. What I like to do is I like to wait till it gets there, and then if it gets there and it grinds and we get some sort of, say, P shape on the TPO profile, then I'd look to enter there, especially if it doesn't pull back enough, right? And then I'd enter there and look for 5 to 10 points or so. Depends where I enter, but and what we get, how it gets there, right? But that's what I would be looking for intraday on a TPO profile. So it'll somewhat match the E-mini, so I'll use the E-mini most likely for that. Here's QQQ, which talked about this area possibly being an area that maybe we would look to short, but it has just taken off. And as we get into the large caps, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, you'll start to see why. So anyway, it's in this channel. It's kind of pulled back here. So let's see if it keeps going. This is a 30-minute here. Let's take a look. Yep. There was really no lower. Well, I guess we could say I was thinking there was really no good lower boundary for this channel, but it probably would have been about there. Such a tight channel. So we'll see how it behaves here. QQQ has been riding a bit aggressively for my taste. We got a gap here, and we're just breaking away now. So we filled this gap up in here. So I really do expect us to go a little higher and maybe just come back to Earth a little bit here. You know, if we get close to the gap, we'll probably try to fill it. And that would be sort of a breakout of this area. Get a lot of stops here because folks like to put stops up here. So I'm going to remind myself of that just by putting a yellow line there. What's up, Ignok? How have the markets been treating you? You know, I think I'm gonna move this all around right now. Because, or you know what? Let's move this over. Let's move this to the middle screen. That way I can. Oh yeah, it's good to get away. How were your holidays? Ah, that's nice. Man, there's so little delay here. This is wonderful. I'm so used to like saying something and then the. Oh yeah, I'm looking for a short as well. But I'm not looking right here right now. Like I said, a little bit higher. SPY kind of correlates to the E-mini. NQ, yes, but SPY not so much. Anyway, let's move over to the IWM here. IWM is decidedly less bullish, I think, despite what other folks are saying. I'm not a fan of this kind of move. This kind of trend is, you know, obviously just making lower highs now, and yeah, just attempted a lower. It's attempting a change of trend here. So we'll see. This is kind of a false breakout move. You could say head and shoulders on the daily, trying to form. So we'll see. Hasn't yet. 30-minute looks like consolidation. So we'll see. I think the move is here. Right. If we break this and move to the upside, then it'll probably go. So if we make a higher low here relative to this pre-market and this regular trading hours area, so if we've held that. So if we start to curl up, depends how it gets there, but if it consolidates sideways here and then punches in the RTH, yeah, it could make a nice move to like 230. But this was, for too many traders, the obvious play, right? All that stimulus money coming in, and everyone just assumed, oh, well, the Russell small caps are going to fly. And I think because of that anticipation, insiders got this move. So a lot of that money came in, and bigger money seems to be rotating out of the Russell into some other sectors. So, but anyway, get rid of this. Little bit of a ways off, but if this breaks, we'll probably see some downside in this area. And just looking at the volume profile, right? Volume node here. So out of all of this, POC is here. That's interesting. With some volume nodes above here, LVN here, another HVN here. Yeah, could see a false breakout. We'll see. And then run into supply here left over from this area. And partially this area, but this is probably all cleaned out here. So I would be curious what it looks like if we move it over and get rid of that. Okay, so an HVN from here and partially here. That's interesting. So may offer some resistance, but definitely shouldn't include volume from this side, which is why I like to make the volume profile based on visibility. Anyway, back to Ignoc's comments. Yeah, I'm taking something bigger. I'm talking something bigger, 1 to 200 points. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I saw the poor high, but I'm not too interested in the poor high right now on the TPO. It doesn't give me that much of a signal. It's been gamed recently, so we could make a move lower here and then retest it, in a week or two, something like that. Yeah, they like to, but it doesn't give great short-term direction in my opinion. I've been seeing a lot of poor highs, poor lows, and there are stops often found underneath that or above those areas, but I've seen it be quote unquote repaired a week or two later, so not carrying it forward that much. Yeah. I think the poor high and the poor low, yeah, a lot of it depends on how it's formed and what the context is surrounding it. So but a little bit too perfect today. Anyway, yeah, we both saw the same thing. Today was a very valid poor high. I think there are poor highs that form just on the basis of the way that the half hours close, and it's like, yeah, okay, it's technically a poor high, but it's not great. Today's was technically quite valid, so. Yeah, I see you got some rotations around it. That's what I liked about it. So I feel you, brother. Anyway, Dow Jones. Nice little bull flag on the Dow. Right? Oh, I don't like that color. We'll go green. This is nice and bullish. Real nice. Real nice, actually. Which, doesn't surprise me that the Dow is moving up like this. You got Boeing, which has a fair amount of weight. Apple. I don't know. What are the other? See, the Dow is weighted by price. The price of the stock, not market cap like the S&P 500. So it's a different weighting. It's so arcane. I'm not even going to spend any more time. Let's move to Apple. Should just get rid of the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Since Warren sold, it's still pretty bearish. Anyway, we're in balance here, short term on Apple. So let's see how we break. It's roughly this area. We'll call it red because I think it's bearish. And this area gap fills. So let's see. So far holding, but quite weak compared to the rest of the market. Holds such a strong position market cap wise, and the Nasdaq and the S&P 500. So if Apple does, it's pretty weak. So if Apple decides to move to the downside, we'll have an effect on the indexes. So, but it's been moving in sort of this range. It's a nice little trend line. Let's see. And that 10 SMA is just starting to, this is on the weekly, just starting to curl over the 20. And this is a daily chart up here, upper left. You see those moving averages starting to converge again. By the time they converge and start flipping, in the past, Apple already makes its low. So I would not be surprised if Apple moves to $100. Just would not be surprised at all. No, not at all. Still doesn't look strong. Anyway, moving on. Microsoft. We talked about Microsoft a few days ago, and I said strong looking, looks super healthy. So our anticipation was that it was going to break the trend line and rip, and there we are, $8 up since then. So on the weekly, breaking out, let's see if it holds. I would expect some pullback on Microsoft to retest this previous high. So let's see what we get. Stops below that area for sure. And it's not far below the market here, so a little pullback. Again, that'll affect QQQ a lot, or the Nasdaq. And right now, just a really strong move out of a local base here. So it's already out of balance here. It's already hit its target. It's doubled up balance. So it's looking extremely healthy. All right, Amazon, been very bullish. Amazon in balance, moving up. Kind of interesting. I was looking at this earlier, right? We have a little bit of expanded volatility, basically, like that. So it's just something I kind of tuck away a little bit. On the weekly, just in range. Daily, it's obviously the same thing. So just in the middle of balance. We'll see if it heads up to the top and what it does. But if you were strong hands with Amazon, I stopped out around 30. Oh, I don't know. I don't remember where I 31.10. So I was expecting a move, and I stopped out in here. So I lost some. It was okay. So if you had strong hands and held through all of that, maybe a looser stop, smaller position, you're happy here. But I'd be taking off into the upper. This isn't financial advice, obviously, which is why I'm saying I would be doing. I'd be taking off in the upper, I don't know, upper third of this balance area is where I'd start taking off. Because what I think is, this is just my conservative nature, is this area is going to be resistance. Right? You can see there's a little bit more volume here. So, and then it tapers off. So I just think it'll get a little choppy, right? You might, if we make a strong impulse here, take off, and then you don't have to wait a week or two before it gets to the top of balance or something. Go find something else to put your funds to. Catch the impulse in a shorter amount of time, and then go look for something else that provides you possibly with the same kind of setup. So you're turning over your edge more frequently. That would be my approach, but that is if you're long. Google. Wait a second. Yeah, Microsoft, Google. Crazy how fast this thing moved. what did I say last time? I could see, Google moving up to 2230, 2240. Jeez, already, just like that, just straight up. So really hasn't tested or anything. So a retest here would be likely some sort of inside day, some sort of pullback action, right? Would be, yeah, here's all the body of the action. So something like that would not surprise me. When did that? Yeah, that was just, yeah, that wouldn't surprise me at all. Anyway, fairly parabolic here. So we could see when it makes these kind of impulse moves, it typically, on the daily, right, pulls back, right? Big move, pull back. Let's keep looking, right? Big move, little choppy, kind of a pullback. Big move, pullback. Really big move, much bigger pullback, right? Big move, kind of overdone, pullback. Try it again, right? Still pulled back about, half of the impulse. So we're in that kind of zone. Hey, Ben? Ben? I'm working, so you got to keep it down, okay?
Oh, I just talking.
I know, but don't do it right in my office, okay?
I know doing it.
Yes, you are.
Why?
Do you want to get in trouble?
I just wait when you do
I know, but I don't want you honking loudly because then it's hard for me to work, okay?
that. Oh,
All right, and have a good attitude or you're going to get in trouble. Okay? All right. Trying with the 3-year-old. He knows I'm a dog with bite. I follow through if he says if I say he's gonna get in trouble. But it can be a little challenging sometimes. The follow through pulls me away. My wife will be home soon, maybe another hour, so then I can close the office doors and really work. Let's see here. Yeah, so not much to do, but I'm kind of thinking about how this is going to affect markets in the next few days as it pulls back. It's such a large market cap stock, so Ignac, you may have a very valid point here for a nice pullback. We'll see. I do like, I really like charting these because it gives us an idea on the S&P. So Facebook, pretty strong. No retracement of this candle. So really, this area here has just been so intense. All right, we see that in the structure here where Facebook just made a humongous ass move. And now we're pulling back. So, and we were talking about what? Facebook doing a rule of 3, and I didn't know where it was going to happen, but I said, well, it's probably going to push to the upside and get stops. So this was what I drew, and I said, I don't know where it's going to happen. So anyway, it happened already. So that rule of 3 already happened on Facebook. But it happened here, and then what, we hit 310, we're now at 306, so pull back into the channel here. 302, something like that. That wouldn't surprise me at all. Right? This would be previous support, kind of aligns here. If we look left at the support, aligns with the bottom of the channel. So wouldn't surprise me to come back into this area we can just put a short-term parabolic advance on this, right? And we can just see it got too crazy, right? So it was moving up in a sustainable way. Then it's just like, oh, uber bull. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see if this area, right? Even if you chart it like this, and we open up here, right? This trend line here, and then we bounce. You know, it went from this rate of change to this rate of change, and now it's flattening out. So it's losing momentum. You can kind of do that. My kid is on the toilet, so I'll be back. All right, I'm back. I'm just happy he didn't pee on the floor. This is what, day 3 of him not messing up. So he's doing pretty good. Anyway, so yeah, there's Facebook. Tesla. Struggle saucing. Right, we had all those good delivery numbers, hasn't gone anywhere. So I don't know. Thinking about earnings coming up, I see more downside with Tesla before earnings. And if earnings are good, that would set up potentially a nice move off this trend line in this area. So again, if we start moving back in this area, we're going to stop out a lot of longs. So we'll probably get a bigger move to the downside from 650s, right? Or so, right? Essentially this low, if we break it, 660, I'd be looking to get short. Especially if we break it, pull back, test it, and then roll over. Right? So you could take an aggressive short on the pullback, anticipating that it'll roll over, and then put your stop maybe a little bit higher. That'd be an aggressive entry, right? A with trend entry would be fake out, don't take the first one, the pullback, and then the rollover and a new low, and then just short the new low with the stop above essentially the retest of what would be resistance. So different ways to play it. But Tesla's not necessarily bullish short term. I do like buying Tesla for a higher term play, but it needs to work off a lot of steam. So I would like to see this thing base hit 500 or so, maybe even 450, and then I'd look to be a short term or medium term buyer, and then adding as it moved, if it moved up. So that is my take on Tesla right now. Boy, all kinds of lines on the 30-minute chart. Might be time to clean this up. But it played out nicely on all these trend lines. Let's see which one. So let's mark this daily trend. I want to. Oops. I want to know. Oh, jeez. Which is which? Wait a second. Why can't I modify the text on this? Is that because I'm extending out? Yep, that's right. Let's go undo. We need to not extend it out. Now we can put text all over this thing. Daily down trend. I just want to know what it is when I'm looking at it. It's this one. Okay. And then I should have put it on the, let's see. Draw text at end. Yeah, something like that. That way it shows up on my chart here. I know which ones I can start getting rid of here. Alright. Now we should say that this is weekly trend line. Did that one just automatically draw text at end? Yeah, it sure did. Okay, so that's a little better. And then this area, I'm just going to put a yellow line to remind me that there are stops in this area. It also happens to be POC. Right here happens to be POC for what's visible here. So yeah, it's an area of potential fuckery essentially. So let's look at the bank here, JP Morgan. Yeah, just in the channel. It's actually in a buy here. I think banks are going to rip. And then when we get a little closer to rate increases, then they're going to dip. So I think banks have another move here. 1, 2, 3, maybe up here somewhere. Let's see. Yeah. And then you look at the weekly and you go, things that make you go, This one makes me go, With that gap down here. We'll probably fill it at some point. In the United States, we have just a terrible housing bubble going on right now. And everybody that I know is taking out equity loans or oh, interest rates are cheap. They're making improvements. Essentially, all the dumb money that acts too late before the trend starts is doing what they normally do, and that usually causes a credit crisis. So, and then we have interest rates looming. So, yeah, we just got JP Morgan here. We should put a label on this. Weekly megaphone trend line. We'll just do that. And then we will. Oh, this is one of those. It extends forever, huh? Let's see. That's a channel. Let's see. I'm only going to draw the bottom of it. Let's see. We'll do something like this. And then we're in balance right here. Potential to break down here. Rule of 3 in effect here, but in this nice channel here. Play the trend until it fails, but it's would not surprise me to see it fail a little bit here. Do a little false breakdown. We'll see. We'll see if my timing is right with the banks. All right. Visa, another credit sensitive or interest rate sensitive investment vehicle here. Definitely making higher lows. Had that false breakout, but yeah, I wouldn't sleep on Visa. Jeez. That would be the target measured move. So making pretty nice moves here. Huh. Just keep that in mind. Johnson & Johnson. Again, this is all market cap weighted based on the NASDAQ and the S&Ps. So these stocks that I'm looking at right now are the top large market cap stocks of those two indices. So this is why I take a look at them. Man, someone got wrecked on this candle. Just wrecked. One, two, three, broke out. Yep. And now moving sideways. Yep. Yeah, not a fan of playing this, but this is an inverted Head and Shoulders with the truncated right shoulder on the weekly. So this thing could really move, but might take some time to get there. Walmart. Sort of been looking at this parabolic advance on the weekly, right? Where it continues to make it's just a parabolic advance is all it is. So next resistance area is 160 to 170-ish. And then of course all-time highs, but you know. Nice break the last few days. Jeez, this is what is helping to move the indexes up. Alright, let's go to MasterCard here. This is where we said stops would be at. So again, 2 days back. We covered this when it was in this area here, right? And we said if we got above here, it's probably a good short above 368 into 371. So did we get the pullback that I was talking about? Yes. Right? Came all the way down. So you got a 10-point move off that level, which is why it pays to do homework. Disney. You know, if you draw the trend line a bit differently. Oh, that's not a trend. That's a channel. Okay, never mind. If you go like this, right, we're already breaking that third trend line essentially. So now I see us just in a channel. So defined by the tops, not necessarily the bottoms. So, and sort of starting to break out here. So it would not surprise me to see Disney pop a little bit. We're here. Slight little LVN at 192. Well, we hit that and tapped back. Okay. And then another volume node at 196. So about here. Now if we look at this, we opened and then sold hard off that level. So yep, that is going to be most definitely resistance. Again. Then there will be stops above. So we'll do something like that. Stops into this zone. So if you can get a fill up here, you might play it for $2 or $3 just as a scalp with a tight stop, maybe a $2 stop, $2 to $3 take profit. So maybe 1.5 to 1 reward to risk ratio. Let's see, Bank of America, probably same thing as JP Morgan, breaking out in this channel here. Let's see if it starts to go parabolic here pretty soon. Let's see if it breaks that. If it does, I'd look to get short outside of it, 43.50, 60, something like that, for a pullback into the 41s area. So that could be lucrative. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Let's get rid of this trend line. That's ugly. How did this stock play out in the last few days? Yeah, see, it broke it, came back in, then went. Okay. Now we're looking at a rule of 3. Right up in here. Right, pretty nice little channel here. So let's see if it starts to break out of that. Let's see how it plays here. Oh. So we'll be looking for that. Procter & Gamble. Trying to break out, having a tough time. just taking a look at the E-mini right now. So broke out of this downtrend here. Did Proctor. So let's see. Let's see how she goes. You know, last time it found support on the previous high. It was some time ago, you know, after a big pullback move. It pulled up, hesitated below the highs, pulled back again, and then went. So likely resistance area just based on weekly volume profile. So we'll label that weekly excuse me, weekly VP resistance. Home Depot. Yep, pushed outside of this channel. Is it coming up to meet its objective? It's trying. It is trying. Another one of those megaphone patterns that's breaking up. I'm going a little bonkers here. You know, in crypto I used to use these. Let's see if I can find it here. Where are you? Okay. Sometimes just it's like these ellipsoids. These trend lines that would go like so, and then do something like that. So maybe if it gets really stupid, it actually goes to here or something. And then you just put your whole account on it. Not really. Alright, let's see. Yeah, well, let's adjust this thing. If we can. Here, let's see. Anyway, NVIDIA already meeting, almost meeting its objective here short term, so. You're gonna have to wait until Mama gets home, okay? You just had a lot of food. And when you get home, whatever Mama makes for you, you're gonna have to eat it, okay? Alright? No, there's no more burrito, but you could have something else that Mama makes for you. But you're gonna have to wait until she gets home, okay? Let's little false breakdown. Yeah. Yeah, I don't like playing Intel. Got everybody excited above these highs and then just curled right back over. Just nasty. In a balance area here, so. On the weekly though. And there we went. Darn it. This guy. We had this trend line in place. Nice rejection off of it. Did not play this. And I'm pissed about that. Alright, I'm back again. Another almost accident with the kid. Alright, let's go back here. Short-term balance. God, I hate this stock. ExxonMobil, bottom of the channel. Nice buy area. Smartly pulling back. Yeah, this is a buy. Verizon. This is also a buy, which I mentioned before here. Ah, interesting. Interesting. 1, 2, 3. So Coke struggling with the daily downtrend and the shorter term Head and Shoulders continuation. So let's see. Let's see what happens here over the coming days. We can probably put a trend line on this. Though it may just consolidate a bit. Then move to the upside. Slow going here. Netflix, just in balance. Oh, a hell of a breakout though here. And a fake out. A little bit of contracting volatility in Netflix here, right? And now here. It's interesting. So short-term little channel. Let's see if it breaks it over the coming days. Something like this. Let's see. Let's see how she goes. Adobe. Getting close. Although I prefer to look at this as balance, but it looks nice on the weekly. Again, I mentioned it was a buy. You can see why the indexes have moved up, right? When you look at all these large cap stocks and the way that their charts look, right? Not all of them are bullish, but a hell of a lot of them are. Interesting. Yeah, but like I said, you're going to wait for Mama to get home in a little bit, okay? Yeah, Cisco was in the stop zone. So it never even hit this area. It's just been holding. Pretty bullish. So I was looking at this 51 to 50 and a half areas. Potential buy zone. as it came down here, and it never even hit it. Really, the channel's been more, let's see, something like based off the bottom. Right, this kind of based off this low, it's holding that so far. So tighter than I anticipated here. So really all this low volume node area here, 51, yep, in this area. It's just not even come close to it. Interesting. What happened there? Weird. I'm getting dings and stuff in Sierra chart like, oh yeah, that's what that is. Touching this trend line here. Which is why it's blinking at me here. Broadcom, very bullish. Resistance area. So breaking out of balance. 425, 492, 70 points. Breaking out 483, 70 points, 550. Puts us up here. So price zones. Texas Instruments starting to get frisky for this stock, but look at how it moves. Pull back, pull back, pull back, pull back. Not much of a pullback. Pull back, pull back. And it's gotten frisky here. This is not a normal move, but if you guys remember what I said, is that this is one of those schools reopening stocks, so it's likely fundamentally bullish, which is why you're getting such a strong move on it. But a little bit outside of its usual channel here. Costco, another one of those people getting out and about stocks, kind of, sort of. But yeah, breaking down trend lines. At resistance here. But you know, it's already pushed up and pulled back just based off the prior week's charting, so not much to do on this one. Qualcomm. What was the note? If it moves through volume node with strength, long it. Not even there. Struggling in resistance here the last few days. So Monday and today. Right into where we thought it would pull back. So there we go. Getting that pullback and So a little bit more of a pullback would not surprise me. Balance is down here. Yeah, another QQQ mover. For sure. Yeah, a little too dirty for me, but just in the general channel. With a little bit of room for upside, so we'll see. Also a natural pullback area as well, so we'll see. This bar is going to scare a lot of people. Let's see, where's the volume? Right here. Yeah. There was a buyer or a seller. Probably a buyer. Interesting. That chorus, wait, what does that correlate to? How many days ago? When was that? 322, 319. What happened on the E-mini on 319? Huh, interesting. This thing held up surprisingly well. No play for me, but I've been looking at it every day a little bit. I kind of feel bad for my kid. My wife plays with him before she goes to work non-stop because she knows she's going to miss him. And then it sets at that expectation the next day, so he's like asking me to play with him all the games that, of course, Mom did the day before. And then, of course, I'm like, alright, I don't mind playing with him, but he also needs to learn to play by himself all the time. He's used to having parents around playing with them all the time, so I'm trying to teach him to be a little more independent. I know he's only, 3, but important not to be the center of attention all the time or think the world completely revolves around you. That's how spoiled kids are formed, right? Anyway, so today he's struggling. He's struggling with me. I said Beyond Meat was a sleeper at 128, 129. I still think it's a sleeper. We're gonna do something. We're gonna do this. He says, I just have this sickening feeling. This is gonna be one of those charts that I should have bought right here. Right where it's at. and just hold it for a little bit. I think I'm going to buy some. Let's see. Where is it at after hours? 134. Where's the bid ask? Time to open up my phone. I don't have Thinkorswim open on the desktop right now. If the bid ask is too wide, we won't touch it. We'll put something in for time and force day. But why not buy a little bit? Let's see. If the rest of the market kind of pulls back here today and tomorrow, I think I'll get it for cheaper. So we'll put something on the book here. And we'll put time and force, good till cancel, day only. There you go. A little bit lower. And we'll forget about it. We'll put a stop underneath 120. All right. Brink. All right. Discovery A, based on the float, the shorted shares, I think we were going to get a pop. So holding the range, a little bit of a green day today. Notice how the close, there are buyers here on the close, I think. Yep. Letting it fall and absorbing. Just a little more volume. So we'll see. We will see how this goes. Time to buy me some Disca A, or Disc A. We'll do that on Thinkorswim as well. It's already after hours, so that bid and ask doesn't mean anything. Okay, we'll go. So if the market pulls back a little bit more tomorrow, I think I like that as a buy. Small size. And this will be good till canceled. So if we fill, we fill. If not, oh well. I'm not like Ignoc looking for a 100-point move in the E-mini. I think that's what he meant. Not QQQ. Certainly not QQQ. $100 would be 30%. Nah, that's not what he meant. He meant probably the E-mini. Ignoc, if you're there. Yeah, you meant the E-mini. Okay. Yeah, I'm talking something bigger. 100 to 200 points. Yeah, I gotcha. Alright. Let's go. Let's keep moving. Flat as a pancake. So we didn't get the volume spike on the close that we did with Discovery Class A shares. So that's interesting to note. DraftKings. I don't know. The look of this weekly chart here is just, it's already moved like this. It's come out, false break, come back all the way in. But this one didn't go quite as high. So I don't know. I just think we hit that trend line. I think we're going down. Likely. GME, i.e. tulips. Let's see. No TA needed. It's just ridiculous. Don't try to build your fortune on this stock, please. Buy it at 54 or something once it flattens out, and then hold it for a few years, something like that. Or we could see what their reorganization is after they dump a bunch of shares on everybody. They finally got smart. But it's interesting, so it stays in the rotation for now. Micron Technologies, huge gap. So that is interesting. Overhead supply may take some time to get through. No, 3 days, just a big old gap. So let's put that gap in there. And actually we could just move this around. What is it? TC1. Really? It doesn't want to allow me to. Alright, there we go. I should probably put what gap it is. 4-1 gap. April, the most the most historically bullish month of the year. Yeah, Micron, solid uptrend on the weekly. If we go a lot higher, then pull back. That would be support. But where it's at now, if it pulls back, then no. Not necessarily. So that's what we're looking at with Peloton. So weak relative to the rest of the market. Good product though. Just had some shitty news. That kind of helped tank it. Pretty clean though off this area here. Taiwan Semiconductor gap. Gapped with the market, but already showing weakness here. Fair amount of supply ahead, above there. But if it gap fills, then could be a buy short term off 118. So let's look a little bit more short term here. Hey Chaz, what's cracking, man? Glad to have you on here, man. Is there anything you want me to chart for you? Makes this a lot more interesting when I'm chatting with other folks. This will eventually make it to YouTube. I'll upload it. Kid potty breaks and all. Big old gap here. So into the gap. So let's just put on here gap fill. Fills gap. Yeah, no problem, dude. Look at me with five people watching. I'm a viewer whore. So you're in Hawaii, is that right? If you are, I am so fucking jealous. Good for you, if that's the case. But that's what I got. That you're in Hawaii. I mean, that sounds amazing. So you get all of the, I mean, you just essentially, you get clean or cleaner air than what I have here. I'm too far inland and I'm landlocked, man, and I'm mountain locked where I'm at, and I just get a ton of shitty air. I've got a treadmill under the desk, but also like a running treadmill. And I can't even run outside. It's like 75 degrees as a high today, but with the allergens in the air, you just end up feeling worse. And it just gets worse and worse all summer as it gets into the hundreds. So, well, we've got all our family here, so that's what kind of, well, that is what keeps us here. But I am super jelly. Yeah, that's the only play for me, is I would be buying a pullback on this stock with a stop under 113. So I'd look to buy 118 with the stop, and then I'd look for a retest of all-time highs, or maybe take off 135 or something like that. Yeah, maybe something like that. This stock is getting more volatile, but it's such a strong name. Such a strong name. I think it's just going to get stronger over time. Oh, yeah. Okay, so Sacramento, you know what the valley is like then, right? You and Baba, I'll take a look. Let me finish up. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 more stocks here at the end of my list, and then I'll add you and Alibaba. Workhorses. Like I said, I would not be long workhorse. It'll probably pop, but golly, that's an ugly. I'm looking for a long at the gap fill. A little bit lower, $11. You lived in Reading too. Oh, okay. Well, Reading's cool. It's at least a little bit closer. That's further north. Closer to Shasta. But at this point, I miss San Diego and I miss Oregon. Just get me out of the valley. I hate it. Yeah, there's nothing to do on this chart except monitor it for the breakdown. Let's go zoom. Zoom is still a buy, I think. It's another sleeper. And you had the entry here too. 3, 4, 2. Ah, man, I need to go buy some Zoom. Boathouses, yeah. And the caves. There's also kind of cool things up there. A lot of hippies too, which is cool. I dig hippies. Let's see. Just thinking about where I want to try to get long. Zoom. I'm going to put it into my TD Ameritrade account. Because the one you're looking at, the account you're looking at is Interactive Brokers, but we'll buy this on TD Ameritrade. Why? Because I don't want to switch this all over in front of you guys. So I'm just doing it real quick on this account. Takes me a little longer. Man, there was some volume on Zoom on the close today. That was some. I may not get an opportunity. It's alright. I know what I'm doing here. 3. GTC. Almost done. It's a little more than charting for me. Adding buy orders. Yeah. That's exactly what I'm thinking, my friend. Well, we'll see. It may not go because of that volume close today. You can kind of see it on the 30-minute, but on the 5-minute, you really see it. So. POC down here at 326.5. Anyway, I like Zoom. This is a weekly, daily. It's just a nice looking chart. Even the 30-minute, the way it's chopping around like this. Oh. Buy a little bit and hold it. Might see. I don't know. Might see something extraordinary here over the coming months. Yeah. There's potential there fundamentally as well. All right, BNGO. I did this one for, I can't remember her name. Mariana something Riviera, or I don't remember her name, but sorry if you're here and I don't remember your name, but I don't remember it exactly. It's on the list now, so I'm interested. Oh, okay. Hold on just a second, all right? I'll be right back. I gotta take care of the kids' TV show. And of course now he wants food, but ain't getting food. Why? Give him food now, well, he won't eat anything healthy later. So, and he's ate all day long. He's gonna go through a growth spurt here. I'll be back. All right. Let's see. Boeing is slowly starting to repair itself here after that diamond reversal. God, what a broken company. No opinion. Moving on. Okay, you and Alibaba. Trying to base, isn't it, huh, Chaz? / Charles. Yeah, nothing particularly phenomenal, but might be good for a $20 pop or something. Who knows? I don't know much fundamentally about the company, so if you've researched it, then you would know more. Let's see. Yeah. Well, I mean, short term we're in balance, so you could just obviously it's consolidating after a downtrend and it's got this gap up here, so maybe we'll make the gap green as a target. So up here we've got this gap. When did that occur? Back on 2.5, so 2.5. Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Hey, if they have some sort of moat, are you familiar with what a moat is according to Warren Buffett? I don't know. That's still preliminary. Okay, so no moat probably, unless they have some sort of new technology. Seems to me like they might be in competition with others. I don't know. No. So they're not in competition with anybody? Anyway, not sure. Okay, we'll look at, yeah, just a scalper. Oh, okay, I gotcha. So maybe no moat. And then the last one, maybe today, is Baba. What a beatdown here. What a beatdown. All this China rhetoric. Yeah, why not? I mean, it's a longer term hold, possibly. I mean, all right, we got this. Ben, you're so dramatic. Let's see. We got this. I mean, you could buy here anticipating a break, but you know, the break may come in some form of this, right? Over time. Might take a while. I mean, what do you think is going to happen with Biden, the US, and China? Really? Essentially, you have to have an opinion about that to play this stock. Maybe. No, not maybe. I think you do. Patience. Yeah, I mean, if this is one of those, you know, it breaks down, it tries to make a new leg and then just makes a lower low. And then here, it doesn't quite take out this high. So it's not even neutral yet. It's still in a downtrend. But now we're curling before this low. So, you know, 50-50. At least the risk reward is decent, right? You could put a stop at like 203, 204, and then, or not you, I could, because I'm not giving any financial advice, I could put a stop here at 205, 203, 205, and let's say I'm in at 228 or something, or just say 230. And then your reward is, maybe if it breaks this trend line, maybe it'll try for this high here. So it'll at least attempt it. So your TP1, my TP1 would be plus 30 as my, you know, but my stop to stop out of the whole position is negative 25. So a little bit better than 1-to-1. And then if it breaks this, TP2 is like, you know, plus 50. So if you go half of your position out here and then shoot for another, I mean, you're still talking about pretty good risk reward. 1.4 to 1 or something like that. I don't mind that. Go in small. Maybe that's what I'll do. Yeah, it's all right. You know, me, I would be taking off here before this high. Probably into the 260s, right? And then move my stop up to, say, break even. Right? So that you would have a winner no matter what. Or maybe move your stop up to like 215 so that you would still have a winner. You'd still make money on it, but you give it a little bit more room. And it's a long-term hold. You know, it's that type of position, I think. Man, why isn't? Yeah, no problem, man. Where's my wife? She's supposed to be coming home. She's a registered nurse, so things are crazy. And she works in like the maternity department of a hospital. So, you know, and the babies are getting made and there's emergencies, she has to stay sometimes. So she's still there. All right. Well, that sucks. I was hoping to see her by 5:40 today. It's already 6 o'clock. Yeah, they in some areas for sure. My wife's she's a damn good RN. Like, she's one of the, she should have been a doctor, to be honest. She's just a smart cookie. like valedictorian of her nursing class, you know, never got a B kind of thing in her life. She's just like really smart. I think she's at times a little bit bored with nursing, but and it's such a grind, man. The 12-hour shifts are just insane. Yeah, just stupid. I was actually I got into nursing school in my, you know, I'm 41 now. In my 30s, I got into nursing school, and I was more interested in the stock market, and so I was gonna go to school. I had gotten into both Fresno State and then the local JC nursing program. I applied to both because it's so competitive. And I was like, you know, I was a 4.0 student, so, and a man, so, you know, it's a little bit easier to get into the programs, but just based on my GP, I would have got in whether I was male or female. So, but I saw the way my wife, the way that they, you know, ran her into the ground. I said, shh, I was doing so well trading. I was like, well, you know, I'm either gonna do what I love, and it's more of a risk, or I'm gonna get into something that's more guaranteed, but potentially not like it as much. I do like the hospital scene. Like I get excited by medicine, but I don't know. Nursing is kind of like being a pharmacist. You know, they just, like, it's a short career potentially because they work the shit out of you. They beat you into the ground. Yeah, she'll appreciate that. I'll pass it on to her. Thank you. But she's at a point where she's, I don't know, she's thinking about other things, or trying to become a nurse practitioner, or just something else, because it's just too much. She's just like the 12-hour shifts back to back. They just kill her. You know, and some people are built for it, but not my wife, so it sucks. Yeah. Oh, someone's calling me. We're returning our treadmill, so it's probably the freight company, but whatever. Not going to deal with it. My wife has had COVID. We probably all have. And it jacked her up. She was not able to work for a few months. And I suspect that's because she worked such crazy hours with nursing. Yeah. That her immune system is a little bit lower. Sorry, I'm a little distracted here. And that's why COVID took her out so much. But she had a rough time of it. No energy, you know, difficulty breathing. Never hospitalized, and they didn't have the right PPT, right, protective gear in the hospital for nurses during when COVID was going bonkers here, and we were a hot zone. So, but anyway, I digress. I am going to switch over this screen to the E-mini here. So I'm gonna put this PPE. That's it. PP. I said PPT. Yeah, jeez. All right. That's it. Personal protective equipment. There you go. Let's see. Let me switch this.
So here they come to sell them again. 9.5 straight night, 20 straight night, even straight here. Now guys eat hazard.
Well, that's not it.
So here they come to sell them again. 9.5 straight night, 20 straight night, even straight here. Now guys eat hazard trading as well.
Too many screens. Yeah, but you know, uh, both my brother-in-law and his wife are pharmacists, and I'm gonna have to say, oh, there's my wife. Finally on our way home. They get absolutely raped a lot more than nurses do. I mean, they just get plowed into the ground, man. Their hours and just the amount of prescriptions they have to fill on their feet all day. Just go, go, go. We're talking 6, 7, 8 days in a row all the time. The burnout is crazy. Let's see. Yeah, it is. And it's not, pharmacy is not, I mean, pharmacy is all about like like repetitive injury. You know, eat right, you're ripped. I wish. No, you know what? Being ripped is like 90% of it is eating right. Um, hey Ben, guess what? Mom is coming home right now. She's on our way. You're doing good. My 3-year-old's planking. Anyway, it's just they do the same thing, and the human body isn't meant to do like these same tiny little repetitive movements. So both of them, and they're young, you know, like they're getting like arthritic joints, and dude, it's terrible. And then they work such long hours that they're just exhausted at the end of it. They don't want to work out. My brother-in-law, he eats like a ketogenic diet, so that helps him a lot. But he's younger than I, and he acts like an old man, where his body is. He's a lot younger than me. Sucks. But anyway, let's look at the E-mini here. Ranging out. Man, this lack of delay is amazing. Look at that pitiful range, 75 to 58. You know, when we had initial balance this morning, what was it on our TPO? Let's see. Yeah, see that? Do you see how initial balance? I thought we are not going to break away from this, is what I thought. So this white line here is initial balance, first 60 minutes of trade. So that's why I took, despite watching my kid, I took trades to the short side, and I just felt comfortable playing the range. So yeah, right now, volume node here, essentially. So, you know, here after hours, that's, you could see as we tried to clear it already, and just couldn't get over it. So we've got our little pullback here, and now we are just consolidating. So let's see here in this area, this little consolidation area, 63 to 71. Well, let's see if they build a position and then pop it out of this area. I mean, let us see. Ignok Mostovic is bearish. But you know, Ignok, you've been on vacation. So maybe you aren't feeling the pulse of the market, my man. Or you're sharper than us all because you're not burnt out anymore. I don't know. Or maybe your options levels are telling you a different story. Maybe I should go check out Ignok's Twitter feed. Maybe he's got something interesting for us there. Let's take a look. I don't think I'm following Ignok Mostovic. There you are. At Mostovic. 3,000 followers. Options flow tool available for free. emini.today/options flow. Okay, let's see. April 4th. Options levels. $14. Okay. Might have to start subscribing to Spot Gamma again. What's that, Ben? What's that? What did you say? You'll hear it. All right, let's see. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. If enough people are starting to use it, it starts to hold some value. So these, so yeah, I certainly around those hedging option edges where there's high volume. I think that there's some potential there for, you know, the market to flip. So, you know, it can give you some nice risk reward, if anything. You know, this pattern here is not unlike this pattern, right? What is this setting up as, right? Impulse, little cup, little handle potentially, but you know, kind of did the same thing here. So this is a 60-minute chart. I don't know. The closer we get to this trend line, the more likely I think we're gonna pop outside of it for a few points. So, and I like filling this gap down into 4,030s. So, yeah, we are just marching up for now, Mr. Jazz. Definitely. Just marching. Finally, my wife's home. Telling you, this kid has not been easy today. What? If it flattens out? Well, yeah, I mean, there's a gap no matter what. All the way to 4,014, I should say. But if it goes flat, you know, yeah, it breaks the trend line. Even if it goes flat, but I'm saying that there's a gap here, so it's just, we have a lot of gaps under this market. So here's the 30-minute. Let's look at the volume profile here. Let's look at just this upper area here. I mean, it's just what we see, isn't it? We're right at POC for the last few days. So rejected a bit lower overnight. Didn't even get to the overnight low. So just consolidating. But this consolidation is so high and tight. So high and tight. Would not be surprised to break this poor high that we made intraday. I mean, that was just a level today, wasn't it? Look at that. Right? You see that? 4,076 poor high. And then come down. And then let's go look at the T+2 situation here. We'll move this chart up here. This will be my last little view before I upload this to YouTube. I'm going to go say hi to my wife. Wouldn't be surprised to take it higher. And then if we break T+2, again, this is the problem with T+2 on highs, right? This is our T+2. And it's on what? Well, we show here 86,000 contracts, right? On highs. So if we go sideways and then we start to break below that level, a lot of hedge funds start to sell that level. So we can get acceleration away from it. So always tough to play consolidations after an explosive move up into all-time highs and then closes on highs, but I'd lean more bearish here. That said, I am willing to sit on my hands. Anyway, wife is here, so I'm going to leave the stream up for a little bit, but I may come back and call it a day if nobody's here. So have a good night if I don't talk to you.